everybody. And Merry Christmas. This is Emerald Fishy. That's me. I'm Emerald Fishy. Hi, I'm Emerald Fishy. I am here today with your regular stream. Ollie has not been here. But yeah, I'm here today with your everyday stream. I am streaming. It is Christmas. And that's how it rolls. We're doing it. That's pretty quiet. I'll deal with it for now. And oh wait, no, it's because I had to turn down my Elgato. Yeah. Okay, here we go. That's better. Kay Faraday, the young lady who calls herself the second Yatagarasu. The piece of cloth that she'd conjured up has taken me back many years ago. We're gonna learn more about Edgy Boy. Ooh, this is a remix. It was the great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it. Oh, new person. Ask the defendant just what exactly you're trying to say. I know the true identity. Ooh, bunch of new people. The Yatagarasu is the man that's standing over there at the prosecutor's bench. Are you saying I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it. Told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy. Ooh. You claiming Mr. Faraday is the Yatagarasu? Oh! I think we've heard just about enough out of you. Oh, listen, I'm telling the truth. You gotta believe me. Okay. This got interesting right away. In accordance with the defendant's accusation, a new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. This court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready. Damn. Alright, we in episode 4. Oh, I got my jacket. It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. And so it is that my first assignment as a prosecutor will be as a replacement for a prosecutor who had been accused by the defendant. Edgeworth. Oh, it's Karma. Sir. Have you read over all of the documents regarding the trial? Yes, sir. I've memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor substitution is just about complete. Always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. I understand, sir. To have the chance to stand in court at such an early stage in my career, I'm honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I'm giving you a chance. Prove yourself. Crush the defense's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir. That such a legendary prosecutor is watching over and judging my performance. I have to be perfect in every way. What do we got? Just my prosecutor badge. My mentor said it was more chic to keep it in my pocket. More chic, Manfred says. Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Exactly. The killer had the gall to say that he was only killed because he was instructed. More outrageous is his claim that the case prosecutor, Faraday, gave the order. Ha! Faraday's such a fool. He's been cornered by his own prey. Are you an acquaintance of Mr. Byrne, Faraday? He's a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. He once tried to explain to me the way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Cannot be brought to court? That is nonsense. No man is above the law. There are always a few exceptions. There's no reason to even deal with such individuals. Prosecutor is a guardian of the court, one with no obligations to outside matters. There's no reason to deal with such individuals. Disgracing yourself as Faraday has will not be forgiven. I will not let you down, sir. In place of the accused, Prosecutor Byrne Faraday, I'll prove the defendant's guilt. Very good. I've secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. Show them all the power of Von Karma. Alright, Von Karma. Have I achieved a firm understanding of the case? I've memorized everything written down in the case files. Explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you're talking about. A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Codopian embassy. The victim, Mr. Dead Man. Mr. Dead Man does not actually matter outside of the context that that male is deceased. Mr. Mackerel? Okay. He's held for questioning at the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He quickly placed under arrest for possession of a murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Codopian embassy as well. At first, Rel claimed that he himself was the Yatagarasu, but that he did not kill Dead Man. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible he wants to go down while in the spotlight if he's found guilty. Truly no limit to people's inanity, but I digress. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly shows Mr. Rel as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rel firing the gun could be seen visibly in the visitor's gallery. The defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to, by the real Yatagarasu Byrne Faraday. Sounds about right. You've forgotten one thing. While this may appear to simply be the murder of a Codopian embassy staff member, people are referring to it as the second KG-8. Second KG-8 incident? I'm sorry, sir. I fear I failed to study hard enough. Even among the police, it's information only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me? What do you mean by the second KG-8? In order for me to tell you, you must first learn about the original. Look at these. It's a 3-year-old newspaper. You've heard of the Amano Group scandal before, correct? Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Armando, the Amano Group's director, was arrested under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. CCU. These names, though. Oh boy. Yo, I'm just gonna make sure my chat's working. Boop. Okay, cool. Let's say, I don't have it up on my side panel. Let's deal with that. There we go. And the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought crime to light. However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify. Wasn't a Codopian embassy staff member arrested for the murder? A Codopian by the name of Manny Cochin. Due to the lack of evidence, the case was unresolved. Lack of evidence? Ha! If only I was in charge of the case, would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. Make sure all criminals are found guilty. My mentor really is dedicated. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG-8 as well. Okay. Once again, the victim of the case currently assigned to someone who's scheduled to testify against that smuggler. Just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was able to testify. Victim was murdered just before his day in court. Damn, no one wants that shit getting out. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG-8. That's why it's being called the second KG-8. The KG-8 2 Electric Boogaloo. One difference between the two incidents. The so-called noble thief that's sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief Yatagarasu. Better find out more. If it's true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Kodopian embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal suspicious accounts records and release them publicly. Or more likely to steal secrets from the embassy itself, since the item that the Yatagarasu stole was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I don't know the details. Anything related to it is getting top secret treatment. Find it ironic. Returning this stolen item to police was proof that the Yatagarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would have to be the first time Yatagarasu has left behind evidence. If you wish to learn more about it, I suggest you ask Faraday. He happens to be the prosecutor in charge in the Yatagarasu case as well. Both KG-8 and the Yatagarasu case. Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. Oh! Oh my god, it's tiny fucking, K. You're scary, mister. Did you need something? I want to trade these coins with you. A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies. Looks like you've exactly a dollar. Is this what you wanted? Thanks, it's exactly what I needed. Could that child be here to watch the trial? Disrespectful for a child like that to be running in the courthouse. Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore? Paperwork for the prosecution and substitution. The prosecution substitution is complete. Do you even know how much... Oh, fuck, I just realized I failed to do announcements at all. Yeah, I completely dropped the ball on fucking actually doing this. Is it 2 people who liked it already? I didn't even fucking... And then I should probably, you know, maybe... Do you know how much time there is left before the trial resumes? I can't be mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant. Fuck. You scary, man, Fred. Fucking Fredman. There we go. That's better. It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. Proud one you are. You'd better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Edgeworth. Edgeworth's debut. Although I thought his first case was the one against Mia. You what? What's going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible the defense is not prepared yet either? Bailiff, where's Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. Well, that's the judge. You must be the one Von Karma recommended. I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. By the way, is there someone celebrating a birthday during recess? Could have sworn I heard a popper going off. The other day with my grandson. Sir, it looks like the trial's about to resume. However, yes, it'll be all but impossible without evidence. What's that blasted buffoon up to? It's an emergency, sirs. It's an insurgency. No yelling in the sacred hall of the law. Defendant lobby number 2. Mr. Faraday and the defendant. The two of them. They're both dead. Oh, fuck. What? 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 Shit. Stay back. No one's allowed on the crime scene. Those fucking bullet holes? Holy shit. Who does this oddball think he is? This is becoming quite the hotspot. Isn't she Mr. Rell's defense attorney? No run in the hallway, pal. Will you tell me what to do? Never find out what's going on like this. Time for some civil discourse. Ah, yes. Discourse. I'm running away. Okay. Gummy, what's up? And you are? Who, me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs. Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a district prosecutor. Prosecutor? Never seen a prosecutor as young as one is, pal. Detective Dick Gumshoe. I don't know why I pulled out the Zap Brannigan voice. That wasn't even a very good Zap Brannigan voice. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first. This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene. So, Detective Gumshoe? Would you mind telling me what you know about the incident? You know I don't have to tell you anything, right? I know that. But it would behoove you to fill me in on what you know. Wow, you're a proud one for such a youngster, aren't you? Well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge. You're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? I was guarding the door of the defendant lobby number 2. So you were the guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty? I freaked out when I heard a gunshot and I kind of froze. Your detective and a measly gunshot scared you that much? And again, I can hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear one at close range. That's messed up. That's rough. That's rough. Went into lobby number 2 together. Both men were fucking dead, dog. That's it. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Not a single sound of commotion. Det Gumshoe's testimony. Testimony. Hey, lady. Do you have a minute? You know, I'm really not into talking to people I don't know. Especially at a time like this. I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court. Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. So Faraday's substitute's a newbie, huh? I'll have you know, madam, I studied under Manfred von Karma. I can even wiggle his my finger. I can wiggle my finger like this. I have the von Karma wiggle finger. Naive novice. So you're a student of von Karma. I should have. Disclosure a dead giveaway. Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts. Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay? I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort. I was just kidding. I was just goofing around. Do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. Wait, you. related to the victim of the KG8? The KGB incident? Telling the truth, we're about to go head-to-head in court. Homegirl's got scales of justice for earrings. You're a regular Shakespeare. Did I say something funny? I'd like you to update me on the situation. I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there? If that's the case, then why are you here? The way you speak is so tactless. The person I was going against in court only until a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back in the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened. That's a good point. Apologize for asking such an insensitive question. It's fine, don't worry about it. Did you know I'm a prosecutor? Fuck. What is this shit in the back? Numbers. As if we're not humans on the inside like everyone else. I'm only human on the inside. What a nice squeaky clean badge you've got there. I'm jealous. Sure, its gleam will dull over experience with time. Wow, this fucking chick just doesn't give a fuck. Zero fucks given. What do you think about this piece of evidence? I'm interested in finding out what you think about it. I don't really know all that much about it. But I don't really know much about that either. She's fucking getting a kick out of this. This is funny. This is funny as hell. Yo, any relation? Aw. She loves it. Who are you? Detective Tyrell Bad. Homicide. I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible, so how did you arrive and inspect the body before me? Faraday requested for me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Mr. Faraday requested you be here. Already contacted HQ about the situation. I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid? I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial, therefore I insist you update me on the situation. I can't back down here. I have a right to know. Do I need to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening? Is he going for his gun? It's just a mirror. Dare he trick me like that? Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, Mr. Mac Rell, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand. Is there anyone else who went into the defendant lobby number 2? Yeah, that big lug over there. His name's Gumshoe. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. This guy's really testing my patience. Why was I not informed you were going to testify in court? Homicides aren't my only gig. The Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So you were called upon to comment on the Yatagarasu's characteristics in order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was the Yatagarasu. Well, looks like you might just have a brain looks like you might have a brain after all in the head of your son. I'm not your son, Pops. Pops! Someone here wishes to see you. Who is it? A Colombian embassy staff member by the name of Mary Carton. What's going on? The mood's just changed all of a sudden. Wait a second, wasn't Manny coaching? I'll be right there. It's nice to see you again, Missy You. Why are you here? I have no desire to ever see you again. No. Actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat? Fine, let's go. This is all some shit, Von Karma. It's been a long time. I knew you would show up. You usually do when the Yatakarashu is involved, and I see this case as no exception. Did you know Detective Bad, sir? Yes, he's like an old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of a crime. If only he would get a promotion and move on. It's the crime scene where a detective is most useful and effective. It's not like I don't know that. Moving on, though, the man I just passed by. Was he not the suspect from the KG-8? I was right. What is that man doing here wandering around? That Faraday. Can't believe he let such an easy catch get away, imbecile. I would have proved his guilt in 3 minutes. Von Karma, I think you've said enough for now. It's in poor taste to speak like that about the departed. Very well. Back on topic. Placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation here. That sounds... Hey! It's Tiny Francisca! What are you doing here? I'm here for summoner vacation. What else? Summoner vacation. She's gonna fucking summon shit and then whip them. As a riding crop. It's the daughter of Manfred von Karman, a student of his who's also junior to me. You're the one who's junior to me, and don't you forget it. You're not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you? If you're able to pass, then I'll have absolutely no trouble at all. I'll never allow myself to lose to you. Never! Why does she always have to be this competitive? Anyways, Papa, are you really assigning Miles Edgeworth to cover the case? Yes, I am. Why do you ask? Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor myself. And I am 100% confident I can do a better job than him. It's just like Francisca. No problem bad-mouthing someone right in front of them. Bad? Yeah. These two will be conducting the investigation. What? You want me to let both of these kids loose in on the crime scene? This is a perfect opportunity for them to work on their prosecutorial skills. Crime scene's not a place for children to be messing around in. I'm the one with the authority over this crime scene, Bad, and I will not tolerate complaining. Edgeworth, Francisca, I leave this case to the two of you. Understood, sir. Yes, Papa. I'll take care of the paperwork now. I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from both of you. Do not disappoint me. Hold up, Von Karma. I still haven't agreed to this. Miles Edgeworth. It's been quite some time, Francisca. This will be the perfect chance for us to see which of us is truly worthy of the Von Karma name. Would it kill you to at least say hello? Long time no see. Very good. Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud. She hasn't changed. Miles Edgeworth, as I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the Von Karma name. Crying out loud, I've been reduced to a babysitter. Looks like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing the detective. Never fails. Now, I'd appreciate if you could quickly run me through the facts. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Bad will be a most arduous task. Checking things out. Seeing dead bodies on his first case. Is this the only explanation? They killed each other simultaneously? Oof. You should listen to someone until they are finished talking. What are you talking about? I'll only say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Von Karma name. The person that figures out the truth first wins. It's the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name. Exactly. I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come out of your foolish mouth. Fine, whatever makes you happy. Can I take that as you accepting? Once again, whatever makes you happy. Well then, let's begin the investigation, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am. Competing to discover truth behind a crime. How delightfully childish. You kids over there, hold it. Serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid. I said kids, kid. How dare you call me a kid as well? I'll do what I please, and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy, you're gonna watch over these two. Yes, sir, Detective Bad, sir. Now, do what I say from now on, kids, okay? You'd better not get in our way, Scruffy. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do. Then you, prosecutor boy. Let's get your investigation started already, alright? Great. Now even that detective is treating me like a child. It's time to get investigating! Get a move on, prosecutor boy! My name is Miles Edgeworth, and if you were to call me prosecutor by one more time, it will be my duty as prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. And what will you do with my salary after you saw how much it was? That's up to you now, isn't it? Really? Sounds good, pal. He's so naive. Okay. Oh, word. What is it? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons. Yeah, it does. That leads us to our first question of the investigation. Where did the men acquire the weapons? The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It is a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill a Kodopian embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well. Could it have been a piece of evidence that is yet to be presented? Why doesn't Detective Bad know about it? Wait, what if... It's possible Mr. Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence. Could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it. Huh. Maybe you've got a brain in there after all, kid. Is he going to treat me like a child forever? Looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Rell first, who then counterattacked. It's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this. Not yet. I feel it's much too early to be drawing conclusions already. Find conclusive evidence so as to ensure the honor of the Von Karma name. No, that's not what I meant. I got stuff in the bag. Better not touch it. Holy Prince. Do you just not pay attention to anything you do? Some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of disturbance. The table's all neat and tidy. Neat and tidy. Super quiet in the scuffle. I didn't hear anything from out there in the hallway, you know? Tea set. It's Charlie, except it's not. I like being around this. Perhaps I should purchase one for my room. He likes plants. Thanks for keeping evidence safe, pal. Looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rell. At first glance, it seems like they must have killed each other. However, using logic, the only logical conclusion is... Aha! What was that outburst for? My detective's instinct just hit me real hard. Mr. Rell fell first, see? You don't need a detective's instinct for that, it's common sense. I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies. Well, looks like a gun. That's a gun, alright. Guess that does seem kind of strange. Why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun? It's not exactly rocket science, even I know how to pull a trigger. Though I doubt I'll ever need to use one. Hope I never have to fire a gun either, pal, but it sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hands. Here's the police screening procedures need a thorough review. Should jot down some notes about the handgun. Hella. Mr. Rell died with the knife. Some blood. Used it as a weapon. Carrying that on his personage? Bring it as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or bring the very different intention? Jot some notes. Maybe you'll find out someday. Why are there plastic bags scattered around? They're for keeping evidence safe, pal. I know. I knew. Babe. Mr. Faraday. Losing his life in a courthouse. I don't know what to say. I can't believe this happened when I was on watch, pal. Rather than beating yourself up, you should spend your time continuing the investigation. Didn't you become a detective in order to solve crimes? Yeah, get back to work. Find out the cause. Right, I'm on it, pal. First he killed a Cordopian embassy staff member and was murdered himself. Isn't exactly an angel, you know. Makes you say that. He's been hauled into the precinct several times for theft and assault. Damn. Theft and assault? I don't like that much. Adjust my hair a little. There we go. He's definitely the type to have committed a murder or two. He did admit to killing Mr. Deadman. How? So, while he was alive, was he dead man walking? Fuck. Do you know about it? It's a special feeling. All detective. We don't have time for this conversation right now. Let's return to the investigation. Oh, whoops. I was actually not done. Hand is all black down here, see? Wonder what it could be. Feel closely. This blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. Inky. I usually get ink on my own hand when I use it with my feather pen. Your feather pen? That's amazing. Mr. Rell's cause of death was from being shot, correct? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down. Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable someone would have to try to hide the truth. Are you sure they were trying to hide something? Can't confirm Mr. Rell's cause of death with his body position like that. I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail if possible. You're not able to form a theory with the way they are? Labby. Yes, sir. We've taken enough photos of the scene, sir. There you have it. Do you not approve? Of course not. What? Investigation of a crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for me, will you? Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir. Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. You're a detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Time to re-look at these guys. I won't rest until I've looked at every cranny. Kablam. Shot in the chest. Guts to fire a gun in a courtroom. Detected for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round. No burn marks. That means it wasn't point blank. Shot from at least a yard or two away. Apparently this detective has as much common knowledge as your everyday marsupial. Damn, calling him a kangaroo? Youch. What's wrong? My stomach started to hurt from just thinking about being stabbed. Just keep your mind on the case, alright? Something in his breast pocket. It's a fountain pen. Oh, we have that. Keep a pencil behind my ear. It's because Detective Bad's always telling me, you should always write your name on everything you own. Somehow you do strike me as quite the forgetful individual. He looks... Why like this? Why this? The gun in his right hand. That's the one Mr. Rell got blown away by, right? That'll be your answer. Sir, we found the ballistic markings do match the gun. Ballistic markings are figurative fingerprints a gun leaves on a bullet when fired. Every gun leaves its own unique ballistic marking. Therefore, looking at the markings on a bullet, you can tell which gun it came from. Yeah, that's it. Of course I already knew all about that, pal. Maybe you'd be better off going back to the academy. Hey, come on, sir. Cut me some slack, will ya? The bullet that was fired from this gun is what fell Mr. Rell. Mr. Rell got fell. There's a knife. Wound matches the knife. Labby? Verifying now. Make it quick. From the look of things, one could deduce the knife Mr. Rell is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. Try to understand how the two men died. Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from today's trial evidence. He aimed the gun at Rell and fired. Mr. Rell managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. The two men fell together where they stood. That's my theory in any case. Something about that explanation just didn't seem right. Yeah, it doesn't seem right. Mainly, how are you gonna grab the knife from the guy after he shot you from further away than point blank? Hey, I'm gonna do some logic though. First things first. Fountain pen. Ink stain. Connect that shit. Connect the four. Connect the dots. Connect the dots. Connect, connect, connect. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen. Let's ask the lab guy. Yeah, call me. I confirm that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is the fountain pen. Good work. You know, I've always wanted to say that, even if it was just one time in my life. If Mr. Faraday wrote with his fountain pen in his left hand, it's fair to assume he was left-handed. Appears Mr. Faraday's pen is very important to our case as well. If you say so, pal. Do these combine? Let's find out. They do. There's a very tidy pile of plastic bags on the table, and yet a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. It's not likely the ones on the floor were knocked over during a struggle, in which case might there not be another explanation as to how they got there. Another reason? I believe it's possible the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow. Get that blood away from me, pal. Gumshoe, whose blood is on this bag? Hold on, let me ask the lab guy. Lab guy! Call the lab guy! It's Mr. Faraday's, and they didn't find anything else on or in the bag. It would appear this bag is a very important piece of evidence. If you say so, I'll leave it in your hands. Ooh, baby. I want to get with ya and take your picture. Ooh. Figure something out. That's such a appreciate you didn't talk to me. Damn. I just got fucking roasted. A fresh flowery scent in the air. Down there, so gross and ghastly. Do you think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change? There's no way someone escaped through this window, pal. They wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor. Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows? Oh, shit. I guess there's that, too. No one's getting through, because there's that, too. Thought of everything when they were designing the courthouse. What is it, Gumshoe? My TV at home's so tiny compared to this one. Perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one. Let me see here. Oh, this thing's huge. Ah! And way too noisy. You're the noisy one, Scruffy. Don't touch it. You'll get fingerprints all over it. I didn't touch it. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. Foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to shore up on. There's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other. We can't conclude that quite yet. Still something I find very peculiar here. They simply killed one another is too simplistic in this case. There's actually a contradiction that shows another possibility. I suppose I'll just have to show you the conflict in this crime scene. I'm pretty sure it's the fact that the gun is in his right hand, when we deduced he's left-handed. Ayo! Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and this is it. Faraday used his left hand to write his with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed, yet the handgun is always right-handed. Didn't you find it odd that left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right? That, lady and gentlemen, is the great contradiction haunting this crime scene. How could something like that happen? Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand right after he died. Plastic bag scattered on the floor, a gun in the wrong hand. Presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. Person of vile intent who is keeping serious truth from us. Investigation complete. That is some serious truth being kept. Here's the autopsy report. Probable that Mr. L survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from stabbing. Interesting. It looks like we now know everything we need to know about this case. You sure we know everything? Of course. The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage from being accused, tried to kill the defendant. Defendants fought back and they end up killing each other. Oh boy, it's all very clear and simple. No margin for doubt. Do you really believe that to be the truth? Are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you that you don't want to believe it's true? It's alright if you disagree with my argument. Prove me wrong. If there are any contradictions to be found, that is. Alright, let's do thing. Faraday's death was instantaneous. Rel survived for a short time. It's obvious Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rel. Mr. Rel, on the brink of death, stole Faraday's knife and stabbed him. It was instantaneous and must have attacked first. Proving the logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her she's wrong. First, look for holes in her theory. obvious. Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. Mr. Rell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Oh, that wasn't it. Oh no. Oh, I'm a disgrace. Could I have it all wrong? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and press our dicks. Do you truly believe Mr. Faraday died instantaneously? I have the murder report right here. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously of shock due to being stabbed in the chest. There, you see? It's documented clear as day. Ah! Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. Faraday shot Rell before he died? Do you have any basis for that statement? Your foolishness has no end, does it? I hate to repeat myself, however. Died instantaneously. That's all the basis I need. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, then he must have attacked Mr. Rell before being stabbed. Finally beginning to catch on, I see. Mr. Rell, on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. So you believe the dying Mr. Rell stole the knife from Mr. Faraday? Became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings do amazing things when they're put to the test. Can you really say that it's perfect? I can't let what you said slide. They struggled. There's no sign of a struggle, though, you fool. Two men were fighting. Their struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. Gumshoe testified he heard absolutely nothing. You place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know. For the sake of argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How did Mr. Rell get his hands on the knife? Faraday's bag was sitting right here in lobby number 2. Not hard, maybe he saw a chance and took it out. Took a chance when he saw the opportunity, took the knife from the bag. Faraday shot Rell. No. No. Something's way off. Couldn't have gotten stabbed like that. The death was instantaneous. Couldn't have shot after being stabbed. I got you now. Died instantaneously, meaning he died immediately upon being stabbed. He could not possibly have fired the gun after. You got me. But of course. Well, the reports are correct. There's only one correct explanation. Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rell. Mr. Rell must have stabbed Faraday after he was shot, and they both died. Getting your opponent's ideas in order to prove your theory. You've been studying, Francisca. Still expect to discover the truth the crime scene offers you. You've still got a ways to go. What are you talking about? You saying there's a flaw in my logic? The fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction. Yeah, if he died immediately, why would he be on top? He'd be on bottom. What you're arguing is this. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Rel. Then the wounded Rel found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Faraday died on the spot, and Rel died thereafter. If that's the case, how do you explain this? Good look at the order in which the bodies are piled. No! Mr. Faraday's body's lying on top of Mr. Rel's, therefore Mr. Rel must have died before Mr. Faraday! I agree it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means the real mystery behind the crime scene we solve is... No, not so fast, Miles Edgeworth. Now, simply think you want to think a bit more outside the box. It's even clearer now. The incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent. She sure bounced back quickly. Big, decisive evidence will prove her wrong this time. Present her with evidence contradicting things today. Just chance Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Fucking... Ow. About that. Oh, fuck. You're a real one-trick pony, aren't you? It's too bad just for... Wow, that wasn't my intent. I wish for more details. Ow! It hurts. I'll make you a deal. I'll hold off if you hold off that whip of yours. Well, I'll hold on to it alright as I whip you. Ow! It hurts. How, is she like 13 in this or something? I'll check later. Faraday had two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Rel while holding both the knife and the revolver. After Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rel grabbed the knife as he was falling, and that would require them to be closer than point-blank range. Nah, dog. Nah, dog. That ain't it, chef. Okay, they attacked each other at the same time from close range. But this is bullshit! This is bullshit, Your Honor. I did not... close range, point blank. Fuck. Written in the crime scene notes, the firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rel's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rel and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 3 yards. It's yards. Who was it that made the first move? Who? Person that attacked first with murderous intent? That would be neither man. Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. There can only be one explanation. There was a third person here. It was that third person who killed both Faraday and Rel, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. The third person is the real culprit. There's just one thing you're missing. Evidence, correct. Everything you've said up till now is nothing but story played out in your head. This is where the real test begins. Can I prove there was a third? What is the piece of evidence that proves there's a third person involved? Is it the KG8? No, it's not. No. Oh. Oh, it hurts. Definitely a contradiction here. Should resolve itself if there truly was a third person. What proves there's a third person involved? Whoops. Would it be the crime scene notes because of the way the bodies are placed? No. Would it be the plastic? Would it be... I think gunshot didn't hear a sign of struggle. Would it be the knife? Because... fountain pen? No. I'm just gonna have to throw everything. The bag. This is the gun in Faraday's hand, and the bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person. Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. In the hallway the whole time, didn't hear a single peep, nor a single struggle. If there was a struggle, if there wasn't a struggle, there shouldn't be plastic bags. Someone else deliberately scattered them. Do you not see the possibility? Disregarding the gun for a moment, there's a high probability of blood spatter when using a knife Finn's using on the person. Culprit held the knife with plastic bag. They could use the bag to catch blood spatters, but... Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. That's... clever? Looks like we've still got a long way to go in this investigation. Yes. Hey, you got a voice. Mr. Bat, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest. What? Ah! What's the meaning of this? Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinate. I'm fucking tired. Don't you dare. That detective claims he was there standing in front of the door the entire time, but I have it on good authority it was a giant lie. Miss Yu, explain your last statement. Let His Honor explain it for himself. I saw with my own eyes there was a period where there was no one in the hallway. I ask you, why would a detective supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate a lie? Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday? No! Of course not, sir! Peter's the one who set the whole crime scene up. He's a detective. Which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. Your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth or so help me. I haven't lied to anyone, sir, honest. I really was there. I was in the hallway the whole time. Detective Bad, I ask you please do not act without my permission. After all, I'm the one heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? I was there the whole time, okay? There's a testimony against you that... Why are you wasting our time with a completely useless question? Only logical reason why he was absent is committing the crime. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool. Might you be hiding something from me? You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence. Suppose you're right. I have no evidence at this point. Oh god, I fucking suck. Ah. What should I ask about why would he know any motives? Oh, that's what he meant. Motive, huh? Gumshoe. You got a grudge against Faraday or anything? No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir. Is that a fact? You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe? I'm telling you, I am not lying! The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Share it with us. Be forewarned, I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. All I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. You're serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. It was about a week ago. Saw a detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. Stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." Brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. How's that for the perfect explanation? Isn't this his first job? Quiet. We can't trust anything you say. There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed per se, but there's some gaps in logic that need filled in. Perfect explanation may not be so perfect after all, because if it was, we wouldn't have a game! Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold it! Let's cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that. I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that common practice? Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too? Suppose I did. It's only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people? Well, I guess. They really shouldn't cut people's pay. Don't tell me Von Karma cut your salary earlier. He is not a detective right now? Damn it, I fucked up. Oh. If you say you're a disciple of Von Karma, can't wait to see what kind of prodigy you turn out to be in court. Because right now, you're a prodigy among mistaken buffoons, that's for sure. Take your punishment for soiling the good name of Von Karma. Simultaneous reprimands are punishment enough.
Hold it.
Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. That's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him. thought it was because I had something stuck on my face. But you do. What if I got stuck on my face? Start with your eyes, nose, mouth. Oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows. Oh. Messing with your head is just too much fun. Mr. Yu, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to the testimony now. Sure, why not? What's up, Ollie? Merry Christmas! Faraday didn't know to get angry often, but there he was, totally beat red in the face. The offending detective just stood there pale like a ghost, like he was about to die. Mary Chrysler. I'm just gonna warn you right now, Ollie, I think I'm gonna actually call it super early. I have had a coffee and a tea in me, now, but fucking... I'm fucking tired. How'd you know Gumshoe? Seen him around before. I've seen him around. Call that, my Christmas break is just not streaming as long as usual. It's just not up to my standards. What should I do? Raise an objection? I guess raise an objection. Tired of dying of sinuses. Yeah. Why would he want to kill Rel? Like I would know, if there was no clear motive for both the murders, I doubt the incident would have occurred, wouldn't you agree? But... should we look into that ourselves? In that case, I have absolutely no idea. What? It's impossible. She must know something. Wait, nah. Can you please not glare at me like that? Makes me laugh. Didn't even do anything and you're already laughing. The way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation. Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight, or is this a requisite trait for a Von Karma? Demand you shut this rude woman up. I wish you both be quiet for just a sec. Guess I'll just have to explain it to your kids. Oh, to you kids. I will explain this to your children, Miles. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both. All you really have to establish is someone held a grudge against one of the two. Rel, who happened to be there, became a witness. He was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they killed each other. CCU. Hey. You know who might be someone who would have a grudge? Maybe the lady I'm talking to right now? Maybe, just maybe, because maybe who died was her sister or some shit. There's no one else who might have had a grudge. I suppose no one is a bit of a stretch, but I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in court today. Just lying through her teeth, we just saw someone like that earlier here. You don't need to prove that the killer had a grudge against both men. Establish someone held a grudge on one of the two. Hey, KG8. Let's go, motherfucker. Let's go. I believe there's someone made you overlook... Oh. I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement, or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring... You have game with Akiko Shikata singing the theme? That's always good. Her vocals are amazing. We're looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person fits that bill. He was the suspect in the original KG8, and a member of the Kodopian Embassy. Oh, I wasn't thinking about that at all, actually. I was thinking about her, because her person died. Man. What's the game, by the way, Ollie? Out of curiosity. Man who killed a monster member. Man who killed a member of the Kodopian. A man who was the lead prosecutor of KG8. Telling me that Mr. Kochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. That's not one I've heard of, gotta be honest. Covered for me, pal. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. Perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, the only thing I wish to hold. Ah, it's on the Switch. That makes sense. Stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Kochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak. Ah! You ought to investigate Kochin. You'd just be wasting your time. Why is that? Kochin was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived. Since the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so. No way, come on, Detective Bad, you gotta believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. Never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, now you're saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No, there was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it? It's one incredibly foolish detective standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt. I have to admit it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. If that detective really wanted to prove that he's innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up ice spaced out while on duty or the like. Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation. Detective Bad. Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? Before we do, Miss Yu, there's something I'd like to speak with you about. To have set these two men up and made it look like they killed each other. If there's one thing I cannot forgive, it's the desecration of the dead. Ah yes, that's my favorite George Romero song. Not movie. Song. Jesus. What do you want to talk to me about? Current case of the murdered Kodopian Embassy staff member. Yo, thinking Merry Christmas! Heard that people have begun calling it the KGB. I mean the KG8 incident. Merry Chrysler. Merry What about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you know something much more, since you're directly tied to the KG8. I'd appreciate if you'd stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both in and out of the courtroom, don't you know? I do, but I also know I do have a leg to stand on here. You can stop making that ultra serious face in front of me? If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. Can't make any headway like this. I'm just gonna have to show her exactly how related she is. Then it's time. Kablamzo. I believe I have proof of your connection to the KG8 incident. That file's your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related? Through the victim. Your connection to the KG8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. You. Can you really still tell me you're with a straight face that you're not related? Oh, she loves it. Sorry, but we're not related. Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face. I couldn't help but... As you, I ask you, please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister's CCU, as I thought. She was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. I heard the evidence to convict him did exist. What? Heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Then the evidence had been tampered with. Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? Smuggling ring's been run out of the Amano group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along. How big was that smuggling ring? Large operation? I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defense in this case that people are calling the second KG8. But I haven't learned anything at all. It's probably expecting too much, I know. You mean you think these cases have nothing to do with the smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently he only found out I was the defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. Figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. What's that supposed to mean? Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face. The way she talks about slapping him, she laughs, is kind of creepy. But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around. People in the gallery claimed that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. That's all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh? It's not true. Sorry I made you recall a painful time in your life. Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. Wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we? Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I'll catch the criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. Look at you, your game face on. Ready to go. I'm making no such face. Did you know? Laughter's the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? Yeah, Edgeworth. Why so serious? I'm charged with making sure all the criminals in the world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter. There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I gotta get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. Can't smile when Phoenix isn't around. The KG8. This murder investigation. It's my belief these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that detective. It's obvious he's lying, even though his lie is hurting his chances. Clearly this case is far from over. Whether or not the detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. karma name. Do I want to keep going? Nah, I think I'm gonna tap out really early, actually. I'm tired as shit. Well, I, yeah, I didn't have a good sleep last night, and big day today, it was a Christmas and all, so I'm a little, whoa, and I can feel myself nodding off midstream right now, so I'ma call it. Apologies I couldn't go for longer. Consider this my, own Christmas vacation. I get a half day on Christmas. Fuck it. A little less, actually. Yeah. But I'll be back tomorrow. Don't you worry your little heads about it. I'm gonna zonk out hard now. Alright. Thank you both for coming, despite how short this was. Uh, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays. Merry Wednesday, the 25th of December. Night stream.